Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the CSGO Clutch Podcast. My name is Adam Cohn. I am your host. We are back here for IEM Cologne 2022 play-in stage, day 2, and the final day here of the play-in stage before we head to group stage. My co-host, the illustrious, the fantastic, the magnificent, the awesome Dan Welch is once again back on the podcast. Mr. Dan, thanks for not joining us here on the 4th of July. You needed to take a sweet time by the pool, maybe with a pina colada, maybe with some other kind of adult beverage. I completely understand. What's happening, my friend?
I was actually drinking seltzer and Coca-Cola, but we were by the pool, so you had it close. I'm good. I'm
Good.
happy. I'm well rested and excited for Cologne.
Good. Well, we're glad to have you back. And we're going to jump right into it. We got a 4-game slate here on Draftkings. We had a crazy first day for the play-in stage. Lots of Counter-Strike all day. I will take my victory lap on try and take an L on config. Whatever. So hope you all out there played try yesterday. Now, on here to this 4-game slate. Again, I have a bunch of content going up for IEM Cologne over on the Clout Fantasy YouTube channel. Links are in the description below. And, as I mentioned yesterday, I am participating once again in the Run to Home Base event. Link is in the description below if you all want to donate to that amazing cause. My fundraising page link will be in the description below. Dan, we have 4
Adam,
games here on this slate. Ready to get into it?
ready as ever.
All right, let's get into it here. Imperial versus Order. You and I were talking pre-show. I think this
Dumpster
is a
fire.
slate that we just completely...
Sorry.
No, you're not fired yet. I'm kidding. Can't fire you. This was your idea for the podcast.
I've been
So,
trying to get fired for how long? Been doing? 2
it was
years.
your idea. So anyway, back to what we were talking about pre-show is that Fur is $9,800, Bolts is $8,800. They're overpriced on the slate.
Yeah.
Fur is the highest priced player on this slate, over Zywo.
Yeah.
I feel like price enforcing Order just to prove a point.
Yeah, I don't like this game.
Nope.
It's
I am
going to be
fine outright fading this game.
Yeah. I think
well, at least in single entry, I would have no problem fading and then going 2-2-2 from the next 3.
yeah, you got to grab a couple here and there. I mean, Fur is a good play for sure because of his upside, and
I see what you did there.
and his ownership is going to be probably
I would
pretty
hope
low.
it's low at $9,800.
Yeah, I mean, and they've the Last Dance, someone's stepping on their toes. Yeah, you know what I mean.
Oh my
Like
goodness.
they
I
look
think
really bad.
I
Like,
think you need sleep, my friend.
listen, so they lose 2-1 to Enterprise, 0-2 to Fours, 0-2 to Mouse, 1-2 to Eternal Fire, then 6. They got 6 rounds against the Outsiders in today, so it's not looking
They're
good.
just going up against a weaker team in Order, or the old Renegades roster. I just don't care how you call it. They're a weaker team.
Yeah, but they could easily beat them. These
Yeah.
guys are like they're old, they're past their prime, and then they have Vinny. Vinny's good, but like
I
not.
was gonna say, why are you shitting on Vinny?
I love Vinny. Vinny's made me a good chunk of money in the past, but yeah, I would
Yeah.
definitely think that Renegades is the way to go, but not very much.
Yeah. So for me, the only interest I have really are Inns, Liaz, and Alistar. I have no interest in Sicko hats. I
Yeah.
really like Inns. I'm gonna go right back to the well on Inns.
Yep.
$7,200 too cheap for him. Again, for 9,800, Bolts 8,800. Fall in the Opera and IGL for Imperial is 8,000. Benny's 6,800 and FNX is 5,800. DraftKings doing a good job pricing the 3 best players on Imperial high. So
Yeah.
they'll be a contrarian stack or even a one-off for sure.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to talk about with this game? Because I think the next game is way more interesting from a DFS standpoint.
Yeah, go. Let's move on. I'm gonna while you're moving on, I'm gonna look at the potential map pool.
Go for it. Let's talk about it. It's Tai Lu versus MIBR. Tai Lu is extremely, well, not extremely underpriced. They're underpriced. MIBR, kind of along the same idea as Imperial. They're a little overpriced. Joda. Let's talk about the Tai Lu side of things first, Dan. Dan
Okay.
King is $7,400. I believe he's the opera for Tai Lu. Bentet 6,600. Slowy is 6,000. Summer 5,200. And Attacker is extremely. He's underpriced at $4,600.
Yeah.
I like Tai Lu on this slate. I like a 2-stack of Dan King and Bentet.
Um. Yeah, I do too. Dan King's definitely the best play. Let's say.
We just take a look over here at the Intel Extreme Masters Cologne here on Pinnacle. MIBR coming as a minus 207 favorite in this matchup. The first match we talked about, Imperial versus Order. Imperial coming at a minus 400 favorite.
Okay.
Big coming as a minus 141 favorite against Astralis. And Team Vitality, no surprise, coming in as a minus 393 favorite against Sprout. So those are your betting odds from Pinnacle for matches. I really like Dan King and Tai Lu on the Dan King and Bentet on the slate.
Yeah, Bentet's good, and now that he's back in his native tongue, so it's a matter. I think it's just a matter of time before they
Well,
start to
Bentet's
perform.
Polish, I think, isn't he?
Really? Bentet? No, he was originally on Tai Lu and then moved to Gen G, and then
Tai
wherever.
Lu.
Oh,
Oh, sorry, he's from Indonesia. Bentet's from Indonesia,
yeah.
not from Poland. My bad.
Okay.
Sorry, everybody. I
Won't hold it against
apologize.
you.
Oh, well, thank you. And I have no interest in anyone else from Tai Lu. Maybe a little bit of interest in Slowy, but Dan King and Bentet for me.
I'm with you. Attacker can be up and down.
Mm-hmm. He's
As
fine.
we both discussed.
4,600, he's cheap.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think
Take it.
MIBR win this game.
Wait, we just told everybody to play Tai
Yeah,
Lu
but
though.
I think Tai Lu can upset. But I think MIBR win.
Oh, sure.
I
Okay.
think Tai Lu have a chance of upsetting here.
It's a good spot.
Yep. Joda 9,400. I'd rather play Fur. With all due respect to Joda, I'd rather play Fur.
I disagree. I have no data to back up with that disagreement, but Joda's good. That's all I know.
I'm not saying Joda isn't good. I'm just saying if I get a pick between Fur and Joda, because I'm probably going to want to play Zywoo here on this slate, I got to pick between one of them if I'm going to go Stars and Scrubs. I'd rather play Fur against Order than Joda against Tai Lu.
Okay, that's a good point. I
I
like
think
that.
Fur is in the easier, with all due respect to Order, Fur is in the easier matchup. Joda is in a tougher matchup against Tai Lu. I think Tai Lu are better than people think.
Okay, I think so too. I think who was it? They took a map off. Was it G2 Phase maybe back a while ago with
I'm
this
not
this
sure.
roster?
This
Yeah.
this MIBR roster is good. Cello
Oh yeah.
8,400, Barzin 7,600, Exit 6,400, and Turtles 5,600. I think everyone from MIBR is in play. I don't know much about Barzin.
Me neither.
I think all 5 of them are in play. It's just a matter of how you want to differentiate your MIBR stacks. That's all.
Yeah, he had a pretty good showing today. I think he's on Ancient against the Riders, Movie Star Riders.
Yeah. Was it Movie Star Riders or MIBR? Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
Yes, it was. It was tough fought battle too, 16-13.
Yeah. I was hoping it went to overtime, but it didn't. I played the Riders. Didn't work out.
Yeah. I played a 3 power play on Prize Picks and got Dan King's prop right, Shush's prop right, and Katie needed 2 frags to get the over. But
Isn't that the worst? It doesn't it seem like whenever you pick an under though, like that guy is like always top fragger.
I mean, it's weird because I also didn't think Heroic was gonna spank. Um,
Dude,
they
that was
you know
such
they
a no.
they weren't gonna spank Mouse on Ancient. Like that 16-5 scoreline was like, if that goes 16-10, Cadian probably easily picks up those 2 frags. And it's not
Oh, I
even
took
like
the under
Cadian
too.
was bad. Like every one of them had a over a 1 rating. But
Yeah.
it is what it is. Um. All right. Anything else from this game before we get into a game we're probably not gonna spend a lot of time on?
Tread carefully.
Mm-hmm.
Feels trappy.
Game.
Yeah.
Shall see. Ready?
Yep.
All right. Before we get on to Team Vitality versus Sprout, I want to take a reminder to everyone: drop a like on this video, hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell. That way, there every single time one of these podcasts drop, you all are notified. If you hit that notification bell and have your notifications left on, leave a comment down below. Not a lot of plugging today, Dan. Follow Dan on Twitter at Wandelch, WANDLCH. Follow me on Twitter at AdamWX21. Follow the podcast on Twitter at CSGO Clutch Pod. Let's get into it. Team Vitality versus Sprout. And one housekeeping note: I have a podcast mic that is on its way, so I apologize for any choppiness that this headset has possibly been. So hopefully we'll get some clearer mic quality on my end. I'm working with an audio guy, as well, trying to get the mic quality to be a little bit better, and hopefully this podcast mic will be the difference. All right, Team Vitality versus Sprout. Dan.
This should be a no-brainer.
Mm-hmm. 2-0 Team Vitality. Zylus,
Yeah.
an amazing play at 9,600. The opera for Team Vitality. Magus, Dupree, Apex, the IGL, Masuda. All 5 Team Vitality are in play. Anything else?
No. All
I
five
I
Vitality.
I
Sure.
feel so bad for not giving respect to Sprout. Maybe Sprout can take a map. Starhair and Slacks are the only 2 I get interest in. Maybe a little bit on Lonks. I
Lonks is
just,
good, dude.
yeah, I
Not
mean,
saying
just
that I
like,
was playing. He's pretty good.
this just of any of the matchups really here, this seems like one of the most lopsided to me, even more than Imperial versus Order.
Yeah.
This
No,
just
I agree.
seems really lopsided to me. Like, I want to try giving Sprout like something, but like, you get 16-3 against Heroic, and then you go face Pain and you have 2-1, 16-10 on Ancient versus Pain. Then you lose Dust 2, 16-12, and then you win on Vertigo 16-10. 16-10 on Ancient, like, yeah, like that's a great scoreline, but like, you didn't exactly hold Pain to anything sub 10 rounds.
Right.
You're now up against Team Vitality.
Yeah.
Like, a hair, longs, and slacks in that order. I think longs is a little bit upside here, but I just have I have no interest in playing anyone from Sprout unless I'm over 20 at, like, in a 20 entry max and above. Okay, maybe I'll put like 5% on Sprout, 5 to like 10, maybe even 15%, just to
We already talked
differentiate
about.
and just to differentiate to get different. But like, this should be an obvious play for either one-offing Zywoo at 9,600 or stacking him with someone else on Team Vitality and moving on.
Okay.
I mean, do you have anything else here to add?
Yeah. The more we talk about this slate, the harder it is to get into it. But
Well,
we do have one good match.
we have one more good game on the slate, and Draftkings is saving the best for last. Anything else from Team Vitality and Sprout you want to talk about?
No.
All right. Big game on this slate. Astralis versus Big. This is going to be a fun one. Let's talk the Astralis side first. BlameF 8200, Config 7200, Farlig. The Opera for Astralis is 6600, Zipix is 5800, and Glaive, the IGL for Astralis, is ridiculously priced at 5,000. On the Astralis side of things, Dan, we saw them lose to Double O Nation, and then they come back, and who did they beat to get forward? Oh, they beat Complexity 2-0 in pretty convincing fashion. I feel bad for Complexity. Like there's something in the roster that needs to be changed. That roster right now it's not working.
Yeah.
Astralis were just having their way with them. So
Yeah.
I know it stinks, but anyway, Astralis versus Big. This is gonna be a great game. On the Astralis side, who do you like here versus Big?
I mean, I gotta go Blame F because Blame F is just out of control right now. And I'm not a big fan of Config. I know you liked it yesterday, but he's just really dropped off. And that's about it. I like Big. I don't like Astralis right now. I mean, I would do a game stack. One, two Big and one Blame F, but that's about it.
Typically, I don't advocate for game stacks on this slate because of the games that we have. If you're mass multi-entering and want to have a couple of game stacks, I'm okay with it.
Yeah, Blame. I mean, I've seen Captain Blame F on a losing team win. Take down the main the
Right.
clutch.
So I think I'm in agreement with you there. I'd prefer Blame F. Config doesn't stand out much against here for me. Astralis are going to need Config to show up to win this game, or to even
Yeah,
be winning it.
I don't think.
Yeah, look, from a DFS standpoint, I have no interest in Farlig, Zipix, or Glade.
Yep, so I'm with you. We're on the same page. Maybe some Farlig, just because I'm an old school Farlig fan.
Yeah.
But he has never been the same since that one summer.
I mean, just know Config can go off at any matchup and
Sure.
completely take over a server. So do not fade Config. Let me repeat that again. Do not fade Config. Don't do it. All right, let's talk about big.
Sorry, I'm yawning.
Oh, you're fine. We're almost done here with this slate anyway. The big side of things. Mr. I take over the server in the Rubet Cup. Searson, $9,000. The offer for big. Why is Keto $7,800?
Good, dude. He's like.
Okay, that's an easy fade for me. Keto, 7,800 fade.
Oh
Tabson.
hell.
Oh, well, then we'll get back to him in a
Yeah, all
second.
the keto.
Oh, we're going to have a
Keto's good.
disagreement then. All right, so you know what? You're stopping me from discussing the rest of the team. Keto at $7,800 is about $1,000 plus overpriced.
Oh sure,
Not a $7,800 price tag player.
but that's what makes him such a good play for DFS
From
because
a
he's going to be so
GPP
low.
standpoint, sure, but again, we also want to get guys like Fur, Joda, Searson, Daiwu. How are we fitting a $7,800 Keto? I'll tell you this: I'd rather play Tizzy at $5,400 than Keto at $7,800. I said it. I said it.
Tizian's awesome. You know it. You know it now.
I
Promote. I
see.
don't know what's up
I
with him.
had to go there. Why'd I open my big mouth? Now the Tizian fan over here on the other side of the podcast is gonna. Yep.
Only the eye
Or
test.
yawn rather than yep, but that's okay.
I have only the eye test for Tizian. I mean, he's been an entry guy. He gets traded by Tabson all the time. Like that's just been his role. So maybe it's changed a little bit since Favin's been out or whatever's been going on there.
I hope Faven gets better soon.
Yeah.
Well wishes to him. So
Yeah.
anyway,
Well,
we talk about. I'm sorry. What did you say?
no, I was just repeating what you said. The
Yeah,
well wish.
for sure. Look, Tabs in the IGL for big $7,000. He sticks out like a sore thumb. He's a great play
Ooh,
on this slate. Cheap.
he's gonna be highly owned. Well, maybe not high. He could be actually. He could be like 10 to 20% owned, which would be
He's
plenty.
$500 to $1,000 too cheap. He sticks
Yeah.
out like a sore thumb at $7,000.
Yeah, I could see him having to step up a little bit with the without the full roster too.
Hmm.
Um,
This roster won the Rubet Cup with Keto.
yeah, yeah, they look good too. They look sharp. They look sharp today.
Yep.
Except for who did they lost? Did they lose
Yes,
their best?
big loss today, 2-0 against Outsiders.
Oh, okay, that's right. Because I played that for Prize Picks, and I had it completely opposite. I took the over on Tabson and the under on Norbert, and Big just got smashed. So,
Yeah,
which is kind of weird.
they started making a serious comeback on Dust too, but it was just, it was a little too little.
Yeah, that's a little concerning. I mean, I guess Norbert and Theme is an upgrade, maybe. Yeah, from Buster and
I'm not saying they're an upgrade
not
yet.
you kidding. Yeah, no, it's kind
I
of an even trade.
I am not saying they're an upgrade yet. I'm just not
Yeah.
doing it.
Where is Yakinder going? Do you know? Have you heard?
We're going to see him in the group stage. He is going to be standing in for Shocks on Team Liquid.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, so maybe it's a trial run.
That's going to be
That
fun.
would be sick.
Can you see you just see your Kindar running all over the place with how Team Liquid plays their games?
Yeah, he's a perfect fit for that culture and that kind of gameplay or strategy. Yakinder,
Maybe,
Naf, Alige.
maybe he's going to be the
Oh,
energy that team
dude,
needs.
they could be really good.
I'll see.
I mean, shocks, like we love shocks, but like
You know who else can be good, Mr. Dan?
uh big.
Crimbo.
Yeah,
Crimbo can also be good.
it's gonna get
$6,200 for
overlooked.
Crimbo, and Tizian 5,400.
I like the Crimbo play. I like
I
that a
do too.
lot.
I think
He just hasn't had a breakout
it's
performance.
coming.
While, yeah, maybe
He's got a
tomorrow.
very low floor, but I think he's got a ceiling. And this
Sure.
price tag makes like I can see 60 plus points here for Crimbo.
Yeah, that's all you need.
Mm-hmm.
But he could go more.
And Dan's favorite player Tizian $5,400. Okay, well not favorite
Yeah, I
player.
wouldn't pair those two.
No,
I feel like there's a negative correlation. Um,
that would be something to look at for sure. Anything else from this game you want to talk about before we get into our one of our next segments?
nope, I'm good.
Well, our next segment rather. All right, let's get into it. Core value GPP favorite team stack segment. Let's do it. I think Astralis and Big, just to state a point, this is a game I think you're going to have exposure to for sure. And it's probably a game you're going to have to get right. Or again, if you game stack it and like a 20 entry max, you put a couple of game stacks in there. With just how this slate is, I'm fine with it. But would you agree, Dan? I think this is a game you kind of sort of have to get right.
Um, I don't think you necessarily have to. I think it's just too hard to get the other games right. Where this one's a little more predictable.
Yeah. Well, let me rephrase. I think you have to have exposure to this game.
Sure,
In
for
in
sure.
in like 90% of lineups.
Again, I don't think you have to. I think it's a good idea.
Yeah.
I think it's easier to predict. Um, but it also could be close, which could lead to a low ceiling for some guys.
It's true. All right.
Um,
Well, with that being said, core value, GPP, and favorite team stack segment. Dan, one core, two value, two GPP. Who you got?
core Zaiwu
Yep, I agree.
value
I 100% agree with that. It just seems rather obvious.
Tizian, and I'm gonna go with Rimbo because I do like that call a lot.
Yep. So Crimbo and Tizian are your two value plays. How about two GPP plays?
Um, let's wind it back here. I'm gonna go with ins and slowly.
I like it. My two value plays. I agree with Crimbo. He's kind of like a GPP play, but I'm also gonna go another one and go with Slacks. I also like that. I agree with Danielle at the Tizian call as well, but I would not play both in the same lineup.
Yeah, no.
Um, But I also like Slacks at $5,400, the opera for Sprout. GPP, I agree with you on ins, and I'm going to go with Jota.
Cool. Like it.
All right. Favorite team stack. Not named Team Vitality.
Not Vital.
That's the obvious team stack on this slate. So give me favorite team stack that's not named Team Vitality.
Big.
All right. Tyloo. It's a GPP only stack. So, all right,
Yeah,
let's get into it.
sure.
I'm gonna refresh Prize Picks here.
Okay.
I'm gonna head over to the CS:GO tab. And Dan,
Yes,
who
sir.
do you have on this slate for Prize Picks? Give us 3.
Hold on, Adam. I
Oh,
need
we
to
get a
open my.
Giacchino sighting.
A what?
We get a Giacchino sighting.
Oh, really? Whatever happened to him?
He's on a team called Sweden.
Huh. So he went from tier 1 to God only knows where. Um.
I mean, he has tier 1 experience, so his prop
Yeah.
set at 18. I haven't seen him play him recently.
So I've got to go with Vinny over 34.5.
Okay, Vinny
Fur,
over 34.5. Okay.
Fur is too much of a trap.
39.5 is a trappy line for him.
I just
I even
couldn't.
think the ins 36.5 is a trappy line.
Yeah, that seems too high. Jota over
Okay.
and look at Slowly is actually on. I would go with Slowly over. But
Attacker under. Excuse me. Attacker under 36.5.
everything's so even. Um,
There is not a lot to take advantage of today like there was yesterday. My goodness.
I could actually see Zayu not getting the over just because it's so lopsided and he doesn't. There's just a
Yeah.
ton of rounds not played.
I'm gonna go Dupree under 37.5.
That's fair. That's
And
I'm
Keto
cool with
over
that.
34.5.
Oh, and just in case anyone doesn't know, these map 3 lines are almost always too low. Like but you gotta time it so that you actually get a third map. Or way too high. Like some of them, it's just ridiculous. Like so, if it goes to 3, then attacker is 18, or 18. Like that's I would do under all day on that against Emma, because like one, the underdogs sometimes they always get one, not always. They get that one map, but then they just get absolutely stomped on the third map. Um, and they make the lines like way too high for the third map or too low for the winning team.
Yep.
So
Interesting. Good call. Yeah,
yeah,
anything
I
else
look for
here
those.
on this slate you want to talk about before we head out of here?
No, I'm ready to go.
Excellent. You ready to go to bed?
Yeah.
All right. Dan and I will be back for day 3 of IEM Cologne when we start the IEM Cologne 2022 group stage. And even more fun will be had because now we're going to go from the group stage to head on to the playoffs. Who's going to make it to the arena? We'll find out. But Dan, I'm Adam. Good luck on this slate. Latest, peoples.